Glass factory, Mr. Peter Williams gave us some background about the plant. So I'll start by recapping that history, and then I'll move on to talk about the displays and controls that were exhibited at the factory. It was built in 1920, but the current company didn't take over until 1974. It is now a global company with headquarters in Toledo, Ohio. On our way toward our first stop at the control room, we passed large machines that carried raw materials down conveyor belts, and Mr. Williams informed us that this system is always running because it costs $5,000 to pay for the system each time it shuts down, for each hour that it's shut down. And this is an example of a system that should require the lock-in forcing function because the cost of the consequences of stopping the action are so large. This function would force workers to confirm that they really want to shut it down before it completely stops, costing them tons of money. In our class lecture about sound design, we discussed whether there is a role for real natural sound using quieter electric cars as an example. And the role for real natural sound at the Libby factory, I would say, is crucial because it's a form of redundancy gain, letting workers know that a machine is on without having to solely rely on visual stimuli. You can have auditory sound letting you know that it's running at the same time. So the natural sounds could be problematic if they were over 150 decibels. At that point, it would be possible to have ear rupture. But because the constant exposure can be remedied by the use of hearing protection, the natural loudness may be more beneficial than it is harmful. It might only cause temporary threshold shift, which is hearing loss present 2 minutes after exposure rather than permanent loss or a permanent threshold shift. And as we moved into the forming area, I noticed guardrails blocking off large drops. This design is an example of a physical constraint, preventing people from accidentally falling from high surfaces. And this constraint is very effective and useful because it is easy to see and interpret, and is high enough so that workers could not easily fall over it. It restricts dangerous actions before they have taken place. There was also a large sign in this area over a machine that said, "Caution, do not enter, machine will shut down." And this warning signal is somewhat confusing because it's difficult for the user to determine if the machine will shut down in a sort of interlock way, protecting the users from any potential harm from the machine, or if the machine will shut down and that is an undesirable consequence of entering, maybe like the machine I discussed previously that cost $5,000 per hour for the shutdown. So choosing different wording may reduce the confusability of the current display. However, the design of the display was salient and valuable. It was salient in that it had large letters, making it easy to read, and the placement was good right over the machine that it was addressing. And it was reinforced by a logical constraint with markings around the bottom of the machine on the ground to show that the area was not to be entered. And it was valuable for the users because do not enter signs are valuable to anyone because they protect us from potential danger. So overall, the Libby Glass factory was successful in implementing and understandable and efficient displays and controls.